Yesterday, Oprah had her interview with Harry and Meghan. And I can't believe that I'm even saying those names because I don't care about any of this. And yet, what I'm discovering about myself is that I am fascinated by things people are fascinated by. I'm interested in their fascination. So, Francesca, I've got some thoughts on what was revealed in the interview, but especially the reaction to it. But I want to give you first crack. What did you think? Because I know you're very into this.
No, okay, so let me just clarify. I am not into the royals as some sort of, hero worship, weird princess fantasy BS. I don't care about the babies. I don't care about the weddings. I don't care about all the I don't care about tea or crumpets, but I care about spilling this tea. Because man, oh man, like it revealed so much of what we sort of already suspected about the royal family, about how conniving and backstabbing and all the inner workings. And like, if you didn't watch it, the bombshells are not bombshells like, whatever, like I wanted red flowers and she said white flowers. It was basically this family has gone out of their way to protect themselves. And when I needed protection from either the media or physical protection from like guards, a security guard, the family said no. That your son, you don't have protection, your son won't have protection, your son won't be a prince, even though that breaks with all of this, the trajectory. And Meghan basically documents her like slow, like psychological breakdown as the family made it clear that she was unwanted, she was not protected. They were not going to stick their necks out for her. They were going to basically not lie, but not tell the truth about her. That's overall. Secondly, that drove her to have suicidal thoughts, which she spoke about very, very candidly, that she really didn't want to live anymore. And that she and Harry didn't leave because they were like, we don't like the royalty anymore. It's because the royalty was like, yeah, you're like not one of us. It might be because you're, black, but like probably no, neither confirm nor deny. They basically were like, they didn't want to protect them as part of the royal family. And so they were like, look, we're out of it then. So all that, there's some racist stuff about concerns about how dark her son's skin would be. There is so it's bad. It is bad. This is not just palace intrigue. This is a corrupt institution that is on top of that a family that has not been acting like family up when it comes to like the first mixed race member of it.
Yeah. I watched most of it. I didn't expect that I would. And it was interesting. There's obviously drama. I don't like, they seem like perfectly nice people. I didn't care about their marriage. I don't generally get too worked up about what's happening to really, really rich people. Like, so the royal family, I don't care. Like, it's all it is a couple of, it's some rich people. That's all it is. I think it's so weird. And I know it's not original at all to think that royalty is stupid. I get that. It's about as original as being obsessed with it. Totally understand that. I had a weird thought yesterday though. I was at the supermarket and there was a very, very old woman who was shopping. Like I felt bad because it looked like it might be her last time at that supermarket. But anyway, she was super old. And I just thought like, what if I found out that she was rich and I became obsessed with her? And everyone did. Whatever that old woman does, I'm really into it. That's the weirdest thing, but I guess we can choose a different old woman and that's fine. But anyway, that said, the thing for me though is all that I got out of the interview is that I buy the story. Yeah, Britain is super racist because the world is super racist. They probably treated her terribly. She wanted help, they didn't provide, so she came. That seems like the whole thing. I feel like Oprah could have banged that out in like 5 minutes. But it's the reaction to, and I feel bad for her because she seems nice. It's the reaction to it. The people who support the royals have lost it over this. Like,
so
now,
funny.
I want to read this tweet from Piers Morgan. Now, Piers Morgan is terrible. That's not new, but he tweeted 1,000 times about this interview. He said, this interview is an absolutely disgraceful betrayal of the Queen and the royal family, in caps. I expect all this vile, destructive, self-serving nonsense from Meghan Markle, but for Harry to let her take down his family and the monarchy like this is shameful. How old and you?
Yes.
You don't know them. I don't know, maybe he does. Maybe he goes to parties. Why do you care? If first of all, he does the thing that right-wingers do a lot where like he's not even really implying that she's lying, kind of. It's just, how dare you do it anyway? How could you betray the queen? I just don't get it. I don't get that impulse at all to give a damn about that. They're rich, they're gonna be fine. They're gonna live in their castle and they'll be okay if the truth is revealed. And yeah, so as Eddie O'Donnell mentioned in Twitch, Marina Sirtis agreed with Piers, and that made me so mad. I don't get the obsession with and blind uncritical support for this family that I wouldn't get why you'd support it before we found out all of this about what they're actually like, Francesca. Yeah. I just don't get it.
Look. For people who have not followed, this is not the first time that the royal family has been trashed. This is not the first time that they've covered up clear corruption. This is not, that they've been crappy to their inner family, okay? Watch The Crown, all right? I wish that were all fiction. It's not. The royal family should have been abolished the day that Princess Diana was killed. I'm sorry. Like, seriously though, talk about not protecting someone. Talk about someone who is driven, essentially, literally driven to her death. I'm not saying they killed her. I'm not saying they had her killed. I'm just saying that the amount that they didn't protect Princess Diana, Prince Harry's mom, the amount that they did not protect her when she was vulnerable and allowed paparazzi to chase her through the streets. That is essentially what Meghan Markle is saying, but times 20 because we're in a social media era. And in addition, look, the racism is so all over the place. It is funny. It is funny that people defend the crown the way they defend the crown. It is as if the country would never exist, that it would, we would lose it. Suddenly Britain would, no, you'll be fine. This Commonwealth, sadly, will still be there, even though you don't necessarily deserve all of it. Even though, we should talk about your conquests and have a little interrogation about that. It's still there. You're still colonizers. Yay, you won the seas. I don't know, I'm sorry for all the, British and English, viewers who think I'm not being disrespectful, but your country doesn't cease to exist just because the crown is no longer and the royalty is no longer a thing. But Piers Morgan, it's the perfect amount of elitism and BS fawning over a family that does not deserve it, that has gone above and beyond to basically protect their inner circle and be crappy to everyone else. That being said, Oprah clarified this morning, as per Prince Harry's wishes, and also Meghan Markle said multiple times that the Queen herself nor Prince Philip were in any way the ones who were concerned about how dark their skin, their baby's skin color would be. They themselves were fine, they were lovely, blah blah blah. And Meghan Markle herself was like, the Queen's never been mean to me. The Queen's been chill. It's the firm.
Yeah, which presumably she leads. So that's why it's nice that you're saying that about her, but
presumably she leads.
But anyway,
but she, look, we can talk a lot about this. I know you don't care. I know you don't care. We can't
because we've only got that's the thing. I'm not mad because I don't care. I'm mad because I guess I do care in that I don't want anyone else to care. This to me is the Kardashians. 30% bigger. That's all it is. It feels similar to me. It's obsession with a family that is fine without you. I know it's not the exact same thing, but I just don't get
no, because it's
suffering. There's problems in the world, and we're obsessed with these rich people.
I was about to call you my boyfriend's name because I'm arguing with you so heavily. No, it is not the same thing. I'm sorry, because there is not a level of prestige and statehood around the Kardashians. If there were an entire apparatus of statehood and prestige around the Kardashians, I'm talking real statehood. If there was a Senate committee, or if the Kardashians were to work with Congress every single, a few years to form a government, Can you imagine?
I mean, Kim worked with Trump, and like Kanye was in there. Like the metaphors are.
What I'm saying is, it could get worse. Like, I know we're gonna talk about who we would choose as royals. Spoiler, nobody, but I love the game. But it could be worse. It's so much grosser. The monarchy is so much grosser than the Kardashians. It's so much more, and it's so much more fawned over in such a BS and disingenuous way. That's why this matters.
I find it so fascinating that the Brits care at all. I find it fascinating. I don't get it.
Though a lot of them don't.
No, I know a lot don't. But like Piers Morgan is like, holy heart, how dare you turn on the Queen Mother? I just don't like, and it's just.
He's putting on a hat. Do you think he's putting on like a cute hat and looking in the mirror right now and being like, "I love you, Queen"?
Yep, and I think he's holding a stuffed corgi, and that's the best thing about the Queen is the corgi stuff. Anyway, yeah, and like with Piers Morgan, it's so obviously the racism. Like he can't and doesn't care to hide it at all that he opposes her. Anyway, yeah.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.